now call this meeting of the Lafayette Public Utilities Authority to order. We do welcome you to the LPUA meeting. As the presiding officer and chair, I would like to announce the following. To address the LPUA on any item on this agenda, please fill out the blue request form and submit it to the clerk prior to the call of the agenda item, or you will not be given the opportunity to speak. Staff assistance is available if needed. Items for submission to the LPUA should be handed to the council clerk, Ms. Veronica L. Williams, seated to my left in the middle. When addressing the LPUA, state your name and title for the official record. The 5-minute rule will be in effect. There will be no debating or confrontational statements allowed. The front row to my left is for media only. Food and drinks are not allowed in the auditorium, and please silence all phones and electronic devices. Meeting procedures are by resolution and not by Robert's Rules of Order. And finally, all documents with reference to the meetings can be found on the LCG website. A chair announcement: the council meetings in March and April will be on the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays due to the Mardi Gras holiday. The meetings will return to a normal 1st and 3rd Tuesdays in May. I don't have any additional chair announcements. Anything from the LPUA membership? None, thank you. Mr. Mayor President, do you have anything to contribute, sir? No, sir. Thank you, sir. Let's move on to the first resolution. Cindy, would you please read? I'm sorry, hang on. Go ahead.
Resolution 4, 2019 LPUA, a resolution of the Lafayette Public Utilities Authority approving the extension of water service outside of the corporate limits of the City of Lafayette in accordance with Ordinance Number 30, 2015 LPUA.
Motion by Mr. Boudreau, seconded by Mr. Lewis. Any conversations from the LPUA? Mr. Stewart. I know our policy. This is an unusual set of circumstances. Does staff have any input on this particular item?
Good afternoon, Jeff Stewart, Interim Director of Utilities. You know, we typically take a neutral position on it. We just are the presenting, department for these things. The way it stands today, it's an existing Slimco customer. They have their own private water and sewer facilities on site. They're in the city of Broussard. They're adding on to the existing facility, I think adding a gym or a workout area or something like that, and they're requesting water services from LUS. LUS has a pipe, a water line on the property. Broussard's water facilities are about a quarter mile away, and it would be considerably more expensive for them to extend that as opposed to connecting to LUS. If the LPUA approves this water service request, they would pay out-of-city rates, which are, at least on the residential side, double, and I forget offhand the commercial side, but it's substantially more than in-city rates. And so while, that's typically as far as we go, as far as positions and all that, from a director's perspective, it's another customer. They'll be paying out-of-city rates. It won't cost LUS anything to extend the service. So that's basically it. The water line is already there.
So it's in the city of Broussard. They are currently not a customer of LUS.
Correct.
They're getting their electricity from Slimco.
Correct.
So they are requesting that we provide water outside the city limits into another municipality, primarily because of the convenience and the location of the water line. And they would pay premium rates.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions from the LPUA? Any public comment on the resolution?
Mr. Chair, he did not indicate, but Mr. Wesley Davy signed in. He did not wish to speak, but are you in support or in opposition to the?
I am in support.
And he signed in to support it.
Mr. Boudreau?
The line, what purpose was it serving to go into the city limits of Broussard?
I'll ask Brian Guidry, Chief Civil Engineer, to come up and maybe speak on when it was constructed or what the original purpose was.
Yeah, Brian Guidry, Chief Civil Engineer. The line was initially put in over 20 years ago to serve City of Youngsville. We have a wholesale meter at the end of that line to serve Youngsville. The way that the corporate limits are in that area, you have some unincorporated area, you have some City of Broussard, and you have some City of Youngsville, all kind of in that quadrant right there. So the water, and we also have City of Lafayette just up the road at the golf course. So that's why the water line is there.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else on LPUA? I'll just make this personal comment. I'm going to vote no on this. Outside the city limits of Lafayette in another municipality, and we have no existing relationship in terms of LUS with the property owner. With that said, call for the vote, please.
District 3, District 4,
Yes.
District 6,
No.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8.
No.
The motion fails. Ordinance 2, 2019 LPUA, an ordinance of the Lafayette Public Utilities Authority authorizing the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government to sell at an internet auction miscellaneous surplus LCG LUS movable property which is no longer needed for public purposes as per the attached list auction.
Motion, please. Moved by Mr. Boudreau. Second by Ms. Cook. Any LPUA discussion? Any public comment?
No, sir.
Call for the vote, please.
District 4,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
District 3. The motion is approved. Ordinance 6, 2019 LPUA, an ordinance of the Lafayette Public Utilities Authority authorizing the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government to sell at an internet auction miscellaneous surplus LCG movable property which are no longer needed for public purposes as per the attached list auction.
Motion, please. Moved by Ms. Cook, second by Mr. Lewis. Any LPUA discussion? Any public comment?
No, sir.
Call for the vote, please.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4. Yes. The motion is approved.
Next on the agenda is a director's update. Mr. Stewart.
Good afternoon. Real quickly, I'd like to give the LPUA an update on our integrated resource plan process, where we are in this beginning stages. Beginning of February, we sent out a request for qualifications. We had a list to send to. We also went through the purchasing group and basically sent it to anybody who wanted one. At the end of February, February 28th, we received 7 proposals, responses to that request, and just yesterday, we quickly reviewed the proposals, the entities who submitted them. We've now determined our internal teams. We're not all evaluating all the proposals, but we're splitting it up. We're going to evaluate the firm's experience, the individual personnel assigned to the project, their experience, references, man hours they expect, and some other factors. We anticipate at the beginning of April, sometime by the second week, we'll have formally evaluated all 7 responses. And at that point, we will shortlist to 3 or so. My guess is 3, it may be 4, to actually have them come into LUS and make presentations in person. And at that point, we will regroup as our team and propose the recommendation to Professional Services Review Committee for a recommendation for the mayor-president selection. So yes, we received 7. The 7 firms are well-known, nationally recognized firms, and we're excited that we got that type of response, and so we're going to give our best effort to evaluate them completely and make a good, solid recommendation that's going to fit the needs of what LUS is looking for with this. You know, kind of a new era of what we're looking for. You know, the public engagement's one of them. You know, looking into renewable opportunities, demand response, distributed generation, all those sorts of things. That's the type of questions we will be asking of these firms, and based on their collective input, we'll assign scores and rankings and things, and we'll make recommendations accordingly.
And just a personal note, I was invited to sit in on yesterday's meeting. I appreciate the opportunity and the invitation. And I think that's going to be part of the transparency process moving forward. Could you repeat what has been said in the past about getting public buy-in on this?
Yeah, so our goal in this, you know, last time In 2011, we did a full-fledged IRP, and it was, done, with our own staff. In 2016, we did an update to it, and again, it was done inside our staff's offices. This time, understanding that after 2016, we made some proposals about new generation. It wasn't a consensus, it wasn't unanimous, and it wasn't well received. And so we want to take a step back, and in this integrated resource plan process, have public engagement. And our first meeting really with the consultant, once they are hired and the contract is signed, is to have a public meeting to go over the scope, to define what we want to look for, to get customer input, to let them see what we're looking at, and also to provide their own opinions and options and feedback on what they want us to look at. We're going to do that several times over the process. I imagine 3 public meetings. It may vary, but I'm just thinking 3 offhand. Because whenever we do come to a conclusion and we have the report finalized, whatever recommendations LUS makes, we need to have public buy-in at that time, because the council, probably city council, will take the action accordingly, and we want to make sure that your constituents, our customers, are on board with what we're proposing. And so that's why we're going to do public engagement throughout this process, to make sure that anyone who does want to participate has the opportunity to do so.
And just to clarify, the process is your organization will propose one particular provider that will be reviewed by the Professional Services Committee, which is composed of elected officials with technical staff, LCG staff, and a recommendation is then sent to the Mayor-President. The Mayor-President has the ultimate decision in this matter.
Yes.
And then the public process and the public buy-in and the public reviews will take place.
That's right. That's the way I envision it right now, yes.
And I just want to express my appreciation that the LPUA had adopted a resolution requesting that this matter be expedited, and from all indications, that's exactly what you have done, so thank you. Any questions from the LPUA? Okay, thank you, Mr. Stewart. With that said, meeting adjourned.